Well, it was another dry day throughout the state of South Carolina. We were seeing nice sunshiny activity all day, and it was a little bit cool, obviously, this morning. But that cooler air is finally going to start moving its way out as we're going to continue to be dry tonight. Mostly clear skies, lows in the mid to upper 60s. Dry and sunny again tomorrow. With that warming trend finally coming into effect, highs climbing into the upper 80s, maybe even some low 90s coming in as well. Then finally, our first chance of shower activity may try to push in as we go into Sunday, but overall it's pretty low. And then moisture returns increasingly next week as scatter showers and thunderstorms seem to be back on the table. So, all of that we're going to go in and talk about. If you have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so. Also hit the subscribe button. We're at 744, trying to get to 800, and then share. Share with your friends, family members, acquaintances, and people that you don't talk to regularly because it's free. It's free. It's free. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. Starting off, what's currently going on? Well, we're going to start off in the state of South Carolina first, and right now we're not seeing anything in terms of precipitation, but you can see we do have some light gray alerts over here, and you might be asking, well, what's that? That is an air quality alert. We have an air quality alert over here inside of the upstate of South Carolina. The upstate, mainly that western, central, maybe even a bit of the southern parts, not including like Rock Hill and these areas over here. And that is for a code orange. Code orange, the South Carolina Department of Environmental Sciences or Services, excuse me, has issued a code orange for the upstate region of South Carolina from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday. So the reason why, well, it's because number one, you're having those nice clear conditions, no cloud cover rarely, winds are looking pretty light, and then also it's dry. That's going to cause some air quality concerns. And so up here in the upstate, remember this goes for tomorrow. If you are outside tomorrow for a long period of time in the upstate, just make sure that you are paying attention. Make sure that you are paying attention heavily to that air quality. And make sure that if you are outside for long periods of time, make sure you definitely take that break inside and not outside. But overall, nothing else going on. If we take a look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall activity going on throughout places like Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, New Mexico, Missouri, going on in Iowa, Kansas, Wisconsin. Just rainfall going on throughout this entire area. Some severe weather going on in South Dakota, Montana getting in on some storms. The West is looking pretty good right now, and so is the East. I mean, the West and the East. It's really just the Century West that's getting in on some activity. Now for our cloud cover, we don't see any cloud cover right now. No cloud cover at all. Nice and clear. If we look at our cloud cover for the future, though, watch as we go into tonight, going into tomorrow morning. This is at 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday. We start to see that cloud cover starting to move into the upstate. This is around 5 o'clock p.m. on Friday. Look at that line of cloud cover that's starting to move in throughout the state. Go all the way through to 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Moving into the nighttime hours on Friday, going into Saturday, that big line of cloud cover moves east. And now as we move into Saturday morning here at around 6 o'clock in the morning, moving all the way to around 8 o'clock in the morning, cloud cover really gets to us statewide. And then once we move into Saturday, going into Saturday afternoon, still cloud cover remains with us. So honestly, once we move into Friday afternoon, cloud cover is really going to start building throughout the state. So we're not really going to see too much of a full-on, clear skies like we have been for the past couple of days or so. Now, if we go and take a look at our current temperatures, well, right now we're talking about 70 Somerville, 72 Charleston, 73 Beaufort, 75 Hilton Head Island, as well as 72 in Orangeburg, 76 in Columbia, 69 in Georgetown and Conway, as well as 72 in Myrtle Beach, 75 Newberry, 72 Greenwood, Anderson, 73 Clemson, 71 in Greenville, Spartanburg, Gaffney. Now, if we go and take a look at our air quality, obviously air quality being a bit of a concern. We just saw the air quality alert for tomorrow in the upstate, and we have a bunch of yellow. So honestly, I think that this could potentially spread out a little bit. And you can even see over there near Atlanta, it's already in the yellow, if not even the orange a little bit as well. So they're already unhealthy for sensitive groups over there. So the main area for us, again, is going to be the upstate tomorrow, where we could see, we could potentially get into that orange, if not maybe even that red a little bit up there. So tomorrow's definitely a day to watch for air quality wise, and tonight is as well. I mean, we have yellows upstate, western areas of the state, going on in the PD areas, going on inside of the Grand Strand area. So if you're in the yellow at all tonight, make sure that if you're outside for a long period of time, that you are paying attention to that air quality. Low temperatures for tonight, we're talking about 59 Greenville, 58 Spartanburg, Rock Hill, 61 in Columbia, 60 Orangeburg, 58 in Moncks Corner, 67 in Charleston, 61 Georgetown, 65 Myrtle Beach, 69 Hilton Head Island. So we definitely will, I mean, at least it seems like we definitely will see one of our last cool nights, like 50s, like almost statewide. Tonight will be one of those last nights going into tomorrow morning, because I think once we move into tomorrow, and you can see the high temperatures for tomorrow, 85 Greenville, 86 Spartanburg, 91 Columbia, 90 Orangeburg, 91 in Kingstree, Moncks Corner, 89 in Georgetown, 84 in Charleston, 85 in Myrtle Beach. So those temperatures will continue to go up and up more and more, and we're getting back into the 90s, getting back up into them. Now for our rainfall is not expected at this time. We are nice and dry. We're going to take a look at the SPC outlook. No thunderstorms for tonight, tomorrow, or for Saturday. Fire weather is not expected. Excessive rainfall is not expected. The crazy score for tonight, we are at a 6. We are at a 6 for tonight. And you might be asking, well, why? And it is mainly because calm conditions, clear skies, no significant weather is expected at this time. No significant weather is expected. So before we go on and move on to the models, which that is next, obviously, we have the top fan of the opportunity, or the top fan of the night tonight opportunity for tonight. The question has to do with the drought monitor, and so obviously inside the chat, if you look at the chat right now, it says the drought has the drought predictions. Majority said the drought has shrunk / stayed the same, but obviously I can't see who said what. So we're gonna do something a bit different tonight, and I'm gonna say for the people who did vote, if you put what you put inside of the voting thing and you get it correct, you will be top fan of the night for tonight. So instead of, going back and listening to something, I want to see who's going to get it correct. And plus, if you put inside the chat and you are correct, not only do you get, the recognition that you did get the drought for the night for tonight, but also you get top fan of the night. So honestly, it's a win. That's a 2-win opportunity here. 2-win opportunity. So whatever you put inside of the voting thing, go on and put it inside the chat. Like actually type out what you put, so I can go in and see. And then whoever gets it, those couple of people, or the one person, or whoever got it correct, will be the top fan / top fans of the night for tonight. But I mean, you only have about like 5 or 10 minutes to do so. So please do it quickly. We're going to go and take a look at the models here. Times at the bottom part of your screen. Again, at the bottom part of your screen. As we go in and push this forward, from what I can see right now, we're not seeing any sort of rainfall throughout the next 30, 40, 45, 48 hours or so. We're looking nice and dry. Yes, nice and dry. So, no rainfall all the way throughout Saturday afternoon. We go in and take a look at our rainfall for the future, though. Go and take a look at our rainfall for the future. And as we go in and push this forward, we go all the way through Sunday, going into Monday. And then as we move into Monday night, going into Tuesday, we have some more rainfall kind of pushing in, around here and there. But it's definitely not a whole lot. This is not enough to technically get rid of the drought, not enough to really put that much of a dent inside of it, really, unless one area gets a huge amount of rainfall. But, I mean, this looks light to moderate at best. I mean, rainfall is rainfall, and, we'll definitely take it. But, like, I don't think that's going to put any sort of major drought throughout this, get rid of any major drought throughout the state. But definitely this is appreciated. We get into midweek, still seeing active conditions as we go into Wednesday of next week, Thursday, still seeming pretty active. And then we have a little area in the Gulf that we may have to be watching for. Obviously, if we go to the NHC real quick, because obviously it is hurricane season, they have not put anything out. In fact, well, we'll talk about that once we get towards the end. But for right now, in the Atlantic, we're not seeing anything right now. But we do have this area of low pressure here on Friday. It seemed like that may try to bring in some tropical moisture, tropical energy over near the Big Bend area of Florida over, bringing us some rainfall as well, beneficial rainfall as we go into later next week, going to like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you have to get any sort of outdoor work done, I definitely recommend that you do it either tomorrow, or even on Saturday. Because watch as we get into next week, going especially into next weekend, huge amounts of rainfall starts to push throughout the state. Not only throughout the weekend, but even as we go into the week after next week, we still look pretty active as another area of interest may be trying to pop up later in on like mid-June, going into a bit further in there. So we're going to have to continue to wait and see what happens here. But for right now, if you have anything you need to get done outside, definitely would do it. Definitely would get it done because rainfall is on the way back. Rainfall is on the way back. Now, if we go on and take a look at our actual totals from the GEFS real quick, GEFS has us around, maybe around 1.5 inches to probably around 3 inches or so, 3.5 inches at the max. So a good amount. Now, this would definitely be a good amount for the drought. Probably it may because I'm thinking about the one from last week. The upstate areas really are in that D2 now. They weren't in that D3, so they lost a level. So maybe push it down to the D1. Maybe some areas could get too abnormally dry, but will it be enough to completely wipe everything off? Probably not, and especially down there in that western low country area. That's the area I'm the most concerned about because that's where the worst drought is. Only 2 inches over the next 300 to 400 hours, so that's definitely not going to be enough. And then the European kind of has us on a lesser side than the GEFS, had us around, 1 inch and 9/10 to maybe even around 2 inches, maybe even close to 3 inches in some spots in the upstate. But the majority of that rainfall definitely needs to happen in the low country area where that bigger drought is. So before we go on and push on to the temperatures, remember, top fan of the night for tonight is whoever gets the drought correct, it gets it, but you have to type it out inside of the chat, not just vote. You have to actually type it out inside of the chat. I see my Aunt Lula already did. She said drought's still the same. That's locked in for you. And if she gets it, she will be the top fan of the night for tonight, and anybody else that will join her, rather if they put the same answer in or not. Now let's go and take a look at the temperatures now. As we just start off, obviously, we're going to see cooler temperatures as we go into tonight and going into tomorrow morning. But watch as we get into Friday, going into Saturday or so, you still see some cooler conditions. So it's not going to be like down to like the 30s or 40s though. But as you get into the daytime, what you're going to see is more warmer conditions, more 8 to 9 to 10 degree temperature increases or above average conditions, all the way through into next week. And, we may have a little cool air damming set up that may even try to set as we go into next week. We'll see what that has to do with the weather as we move more and more into next week. But for right now, honestly, temperatures are just all over the place. I mean, you're looking at cooler temperatures at night, warmer temperatures during the day, and it's just overall shifting. Overall, it's shifting all the way through into next week, Thursday and Friday, to where another plume of cooler air may try to move through. Warmer conditions kind of held at bay a little bit. And then even as we move into mid-June, you are still seeing increments of cooler air trying to move in. So honestly, I mean, cooler air definitely is trying to make its presence known as we move into the first part of June. Now, as we get later into June, that may change. And also, I want to say that you can kind of see it, but you see this area of circulation right here. Right here. This little area of circulation, this is the storm that was showing up on the GFS, the rather it be tropical storm, probably, that showed up on the GFS earlier that we kind of looked at. Again, that's 300 hours out, so we're not even going to really even look at that. But the reason why you have this area of cooler temperatures is because of this storm, bringing in that intense cloud cover, bringing in that intense rainfall as well. So all of that kind of goes in to the fact why temperatures are going to be lower. So this, obviously if this doesn't happen, we're going to see warmer temperatures probably. So that is something also to keep in mind once we get around 300 plus hours out, and just you don't know. And if we go on and take up the official temperatures as well, look at it. going all the way into Friday tomorrow. Again, 90s. Watch as we get into Saturday morning. We're seeing some 60s, not really any 50s though, but a good amount of 60s, some more 80s and 90s come along Saturday. Sunday comes along, seeing some more 60s, and as we move all the way into Sunday, going into Monday, good amount of 80s and 90s come along. And then once we move into around Tuesday, going into Wednesday of next week, again, just a bunch of 60s during the nighttime hours and the morning time hours, but daytime still up into the 90s. So it's going to be that same 30-degree difference to where in the morning time it's in the 60s, especially up there in the upstate. And then once you get into the daytime, you're looking at a lot more 80s. You're looking at a lot more 90s once you get into next week, next weekend. And then we're going to take a look at the ensembles real quick because that is an important thing to look at as well. Go ahead and switch over to the mean right here. We move on to Saturday, going on into Sunday and Monday into the future. We're seeing more 80s, more 90s again. So, I mean, the GEFS at least isn't really liking that output of a full-on system trying to move in throughout the state. And in fact, it shows even some mid to upper 90s as we move later into June. So the GEFS isn't really too in tune with the deterministic that we just looked at a couple of minutes ago, talking about how cooler air may still be trying to be, moving into the state as we continue throughout the rest of June, at least the early part. So that's pretty much all that I can see here in terms of the model. So let's go on now and take a look at the drought. And so if you have no idea what I'm talking about the drought monitor that's put out by the U.S. Drought Monitor every Thursday, except for on holidays. And we go on as the SC Weather channel group. We go in and check it out. And we see what's going on in terms of it, seeing if we can go on and predict. See if we can go in and predict what's going to happen in terms of the state. And so for right now, I mean, we're looking at a lot of rainfall. And so my first thing that I'm automatically taking into account is that at least where I am inside the Tri-County area, I got around 2+ inches of rainfall last week, or earlier this week. So I already got a good amount of rainfall this week going into later parts of last week. So I'm already kind of thinking about, okay, well, it probably will be a bit of a decrease. But again, it's not just your area, it's the entire state. Upstate saw a good amount in some spots, but didn't see too much elsewhere. And also looking down here in the western low country, they got a good amount of rainfall as well. That's the area where the drought is the highest, but a couple of spots may have only gotten around, like a half an inch or so. Down there near Charleston got around 3 inches or so. Over there in eastern Georgetown County or northern, they got around a good 4 inches or so. So they got a lot of rainfall up there. So honestly, I do not believe, in my opinion, which we're going to go in and end the poll in about 10 seconds or so. In my opinion, I do not believe that the drought has expanded. I just don't really see how the drought would have expanded in these conditions right here. So we're going to say that the drought has, in my opinion, I think that the drought has shrunk. But remember, the drought has shrunk / stayed the same. That's the same option. 75% says that, including me. And then 25% thinks that the drought has expanded. So let's go on and get a drum roll real quick. And then we're going to go on and reveal this answer, if I have audio. Maybe wants to play. There we go. And honestly, yes, this is, definitely a decretion here. You can easily see the shrunken areas, rather it be inside of the western low country where that D4 is now gone. It's now just a D3. We're seeing the drought kind of going away in southern Aiken counties, northwestern Barnwell counties, northern Barnwell County. The drought is now officially over in those areas. Now it's just an abnormally dry. And the D2 throughout the more upstate Midland areas have now downtrended to a D1. We still are kind of seeing this D3 kind of staying the same over here in the Grand Strand areas. But definitely a good week of rainfall since last week Thursday. And this right here definitely kind of shows that we are on the downtrend, especially since we have this, little dry patch here. I think that may impact it a little bit, but next week we're going to get even more rainfall. Maybe not as much, but we definitely will see a good amount. So that was that was three people. Let's see. My Aunt Lula got it, Thad got it, and then also Trail got it. So the three of y'all got it for tonight that I can see of. And then also to the other 75% of people who did not put it inside the chat, y'all also got it as well. So that's pretty much all that I have to say in terms of the drought. Congratulations to the three of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. Again, my Aunt Lula, Thad, and then Trail are the three top fans of the night for tonight. So congratulations to y'all three. Let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what they have to say for tonight. Starting off, my Aunt Lula was here first, saying, "Good evening, everyone. I pray everyone had a blessed day. Today in Georgetown, we had a beautiful day. It was around 82 as a high. Currently, it's 70. Well, thank you so much for that weather report for where you are. Currently at my house right now, it is around 71, and then the high temperature got up to around 85. She also says, "I was able to drive over to Myrtle Beach. It was congested, but it was beautiful." Well, thank you so much for that weather report as well. My name says, "Hello, Jay and all. Hello to you. Nice day, a little hot mid-afternoon. I enjoyed my day, though. I'm glad to hear that." My Lewis says, "We did start out cool, but it did not last too long." Yeah, same thing at my house as well. I was outside pretty much all day again today. I know yesterday I was again outside all day pretty much today. And it was pretty much warm, slash hot, like almost all day. That I was out there. Because I went outside pretty late. It wasn't like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It was more like 9 or so. Then my cousin Cheryl says, "Good evening. Hope all is well. I'm listening at work. Love y'all." Well, thank you so much for listening to us while you are at work for tonight. Dad says, "Good evening, just from the 360 Weather family. I trust all is well with everyone." Trail says, "Greetings everyone, greetings to you, and greetings to you as well, Dad." He also says it was a kind of warm here today in San Antonio. Spent a majority of the day inside. We got a little sprinkle of rain earlier in the day, enough to wet the grass. And that's all that I can see here from him and just from everybody else. So thank you so much for that weather update over there in San Antonio. And I don't see anything else. So let's go on and talk about the 4 areas, and San Antonio is one of those areas. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas outside of South Carolina is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune almost nightly, like San Antonio, like Philadelphia, is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and we're going to go on and just thank them by giving them their forecast for us. So starting off with San Antonio first, you have low temperatures tonight at 73, high temperature for tomorrow at 85, low temperatures tomorrow night at 72. Slight chance of storms tonight. Tomorrow there is also a chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow night, though, showers are likely. Tomorrow night, showers are likely. Now, once you get into your future temperature-wise, you're going to see a lot of 80s, but watch as you get into next week. 90s coming up. 90s are coming up. Rainfall-wise, you're going to continue to kind of be in that 40% chance of rainfall range, going to 50%, going to 20% on Sunday, 20% on Monday. I mean, it's going to continue to kind of just stay active for you, not only as you go into tonight, but going into the weekend, but also as you go into next week. But then once you move into around Wednesday or so, we are talking about, drier conditions coming in. Now, in terms of your severe weather, in terms of your excessive rainfall, well, for right now, it looks like that you're going to continue to just receive no severe weather activity. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, you do have a risk of excessive rainfall, that being for tomorrow and for Saturday. So tomorrow and Saturday, isolated flash flooding is possible for you. Then for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 58, high temperature for tomorrow at 95, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 68. No precipitation is expected at this time, no severe weather, and in terms of excessive rainfall, it looks like that you are good there. Now, honestly, it's going to continue to be hot for you. I mean, Sunday, 99 degrees. That is your high temperature on Sunday, 99. Will you reach 100? I mean, it's possible. So your first 100 could be coming this weekend. Your first 100 could easily be coming in this weekend. Then once we move into Monday, Tuesday will start to cool down. Tuesday 85, Wednesday 89, but then Thursday back up to 93 of next week. So you're going to continue to be hot. Rainfall, threats will kind of be there going into Monday, but that's really your only day of rainfall. Every other day is pretty much like a 0% chance or so, up into the 90s. Now, in terms of Philadelphia, we have low temperatures tonight at 63, high temperature for tomorrow at 93, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 68. You have no chance of precipitation for tonight and tomorrow. Once you move into Saturday night, though, and Sunday, chance of showers on Saturday night, Sunday. Also, a 20% chance of thunderstorms there. But other than that, that's it. That's it. You're dry for everything else. No excessive rainfall for you. Severe weather, it's kind of close on Saturday. I mean, Saturday you're in that regular light green thunderstorm risk, but you have a marginal risk towards your north and west, so you're pretty close, but not quite there. And then for your future, continuing to stay in the 90s until you move into next week, you're going to be into the 80s, but you'll be back up into the 90s probably next weekend. Then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 69, high temperature for tomorrow at 87, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 70. No precipitation tonight, but tomorrow there is a slight chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow night, chance of thunderstorms once again. So definitely you want to pay attention for that. In terms of your severe weather, excessive rainfall, severe weather is not expected at this time. Excessive rainfall, seems like right now that you are not in the clear on Saturday. Isolated flash flooding is possible for you. And then in terms of your future, temperature-wise, you're going to continue to kind of just stay up into the 80s, next week up into the 90s, and then once you get into next week, it's definitely going to get a lot drier as well. So no more, not really any chance of storms or showers once you move into next week. And that's all that I can see here in terms of the 4 areas outside of South Carolina. So let's see what's going on right now throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise. Scattered severe thunderstorms capable of large to very large hail damaging winds with potentially significant gusts and perhaps even a couple of tornadoes are expected Friday afternoon into the nighttime across portions of the Central Plains into the Upper Great Lakes. Thunderstorms with heavy to excessive rainfall may also produce flooding over parts of the Midwest going into Friday. That's the main thing that we're seeing there. Also, a lot of air quality alerts going out. We talked about the upstate of South Carolina. We're talking about central portions of North Carolina. Atlanta's included in there. Philadelphia is also in there as well for their air quality alerts. So make sure that you're paying attention to the air quality conditions over there and try not to be outside too long, as that seems to be Friday in effect for Friday. And that's all they pretty much say. So just make sure you're aware of that. And then not only through there, through Washington, D.C., through Baltimore, going up in the entire state of Indianapolis, western Ohio, at least the southwestern portion, and the western portion, central western portion. So a good amount of stuff going on over there. But definitely the main thing that I think a lot of people may be talking about right now is there is a storm, Tropical Storm Amanda, in the Pacific, not the Atlantic, but in the Pacific. Now, right now, it's not really looking like it's going to impact land much. Here is what it currently looks like. Again, this is in the Pacific, not in the Atlantic, so this has no threat to South Carolina at all. But Amanda is the first name for the Pacific season, and this is what it currently looks like. It is a tropical storm right now, 40-mile-per-hour winds, 45 right now to it, and it's expected to die out down to tropical depression, not really expected to do much at all. And that's pretty much all that I can see here in terms of this storm. And again, nothing too much to talk about here, except for it's just going to go out and just die. And that's all I have to say here for tonight. Let me check out the chat one more time. I don't see anything else for me here. Yep, that's it. So I will be back tomorrow morning, Friday morning forecast update. Let's get through tomorrow, and we will be at the weekend. Also, hit the like button right now. We've had around a good 13 people tune in, only 6 likes, so go and hit the like button if you have not already. Also, hit the subscribe button. We're at 744, trying to get to 800, and then share. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, and people that you don't talk to regularly, because it's free, and you can share to as many people as you can. Obviously, like I said, free of charge. Also, there is a possibility that I will not be here Saturday evening. It's looking like it's going to be kind of likely right now. I don't know how long this event is or how long it's going to last in general. but Saturday evening probably will not be here on Saturday evening. So I'm just letting you know that now. We'll be here tomorrow, tomorrow evening. I'll be here Saturday morning, Sunday morning, all that kind of stuff. Just Saturday evening is the only day. But that's all. Hit those two buttons before you leave if you're new. And everyone have a fantastic rest of your Thursday evening.